Hey, dear fans of Soul&Love Stories, ready to melt over a sweet romance between a clumsy waitress, a frosty millionaire, and a cat-loving little girl? Subscribe, smash that bell hard to stay in the loop, and drop your dog or cat's name in the comments to kick things off. Portland, Oregon on a December morning was serenaded by the gentle patter of rain, a wordless melody. Scarlett Evans, 32, stood behind the counter of moonlit muffins, her brown hair tied up in a messy bun, apron streaked with flour. She'd grown used to this life, serving coffee, wiping tables, and hiding a stack of bills beneath her bright smile. Once a dreamy education student, Scarlett dropped out a decade ago to care for her ailing mother. Now, with her mom gone, she was left with a rickety apartment and a heart still seeking light amid the rain. The bakery was busier than usual today, the scent of cinnamon from Christmas cookies wafting through the air, blending with the warm glow of golden lights. Scarlett poured coffee while teasing a boy at a nearby table. "Hey kid, how do you spell cookie?" "Get it right, and I'll give you one with a smiley face." The boy laughed, pointing to the word on the menu. Scarlett piped a smile onto a cookie with frosting, winking, "Smart kid, future teacher material." From a corner, Julian Hayes, 38, watched quietly. Dressed in a simple gray shirt, he still exuded the aura of a tech millionaire. Cool, sharp, his eyes rarely straying from his phone. As CEO of an online learning app, Julian lived in a luxurious but lonely penthouse with Luna, his 8-year-old sister, as his only spark of joy. Luna sat beside him, clutching a stuffed cat, her quiet eyes fixed on the table. She struggled with reading, shied from talking, and Julian felt helpless every time he tried to connect. He'd brought her to the bakery for a change of pace, but she stayed silent, hugging her toy tighter. Scarlett passed by, catching Luna whispering to her stuffed cat, "Kitty wants a cookie." She paused, knelt down, and mimicked a cartoon cat voice. "Meow, I want a star-shaped cookie." Luna looked up, her eyes lighting up, and for the first time in months, she smiled. Julian froze, his phone slipping from his hand. He stared at Scarlett, unaware that this moment would change everything. Rain fell steadily outside moonlit muffins, cloaking Portland's streets in a misty veil. Scarlett Evans busied herself wiping the counter, trying to ignore the curious glances from customers as she mimicked a cat's voice to amuse Luna Hayes. The 8-year-old, clutching her stuffed cat like a treasure, sat at a corner table, giggling for the first time as Scarlett spun a tale about a cookie star-eating cat princess. Scarlett winked at Luna. "If your kitty wants more cookies, just tell me. I'll make one with a smiley face." Julian Hayes, a few steps away, set his phone down. A rare move. He'd grown used to Luna's silence, her distant gaze ever since their parents died in a car crash 3 years ago. But now, seeing her smile and whisper, "Kitty likes stars," to Scarlett, he felt an odd spark of hope. Scarlett, with her messy hair and flour-dusted apron, seemed to wield a magic he, a tech millionaire, couldn't grasp. As Scarlett brought out a fresh tray of cookies, she bumped a chair, sending a few cat-shaped ones tumbling to the floor. "Oh no, I'm a walking disaster," she yelped, bending to pick them up. Julian rose, retrieving one and handing it back. "You okay?" he asked, his deep voice softer than usual. Scarlett looked up, blushing as their eyes met. "Fine, except I just ruined my cat cookie masterpiece. You're Luna's brother, right?" "I'm Scarlett, but call me Cookie Wrecker," she laughed, masking her embarrassment. Julian's lip twitched, a rare smile that made Scarlett pause. "He's not as cold as I thought," she mused. "Luna likes you," Julian said, glancing at his sister doodling stars on a napkin. "Do you have experience teaching kids?" Scarlett shrugged. "Studied education, but life made me a coffee-pouring expert instead." "Why?" Julian took a breath, cutting to the chase. "I want to hire you to teach Luna to read. 3 days a week, double your pay." Scarlett blinked, then laughed so loud a few heads turned. "Double zero is still zero, Mr. Hayes. But—" She looked at Luna, secretly scribbling a wobbly cat, and her heart softened. "Okay, for Luna, and because I need to pay my electric bill." Julian nodded, handing her a business card. "Monday, 5 p.m., my place." Scarlett took it, teasing. Your house doesn't have trays for me to drop, does it? He didn't reply, but his gaze held a hint of warmth, as if the rain outside paused for a moment. Scarlett returned to the counter, muttering, I just got hired by a millionaire. No more spills, Scarlett. She didn't know that behind her, Julian watched, thinking, she's unlike anyone I've met. A flicker of light had pierced his icy world. Portland's rain kept falling, but inside Julian Hayes's lavish penthouse, Scarlett Evans felt like she'd stepped into another world. The 30th floor apartment, with its glass walls overlooking the misty city and sleek white-silver decor, bore no resemblance to the cozy bakery she knew. Standing in the living room, clutching a box of homemade cat-shaped cookies, she muttered to herself, Don't spill anything, Scarlett. Don't wreck a millionaire's house. Luna, perched on the sofa with her stuffed cat, glanced at her and smiled faintly. A small victory. Julian opened the door, still in his neat gray shirt, nodding. You're on time. Luna's over there. Scarlett winked at the girl. Ready to be a cat teacher, kiddo? Luna nodded, replying without her toy speaking for her. A first. Yeah, want to learn cat. Scarlett set the cookies down, starting the lesson by arranging letter-carved cookies into a story. Cat the cat eats a cookie on a cloud. Luna focused, even trying to spell C-A-T. Julian lingered by the door, pretending to check emails, but his eyes stole glances at Scarlett. Her patient way of turning letters into cat drawings, singing a goofy made-up tune about Meow the cat goes to school, made Luna laugh, a feat he'd never managed. When Scarlett accidentally spilled tea on his desk, she yelped, Oh no, I just trashed a millionaire's stuff. Julian stepped over, wiping it with a cloth, joking rare. Consider it adding style to my desk. Scarlett blushed, flustered. Disaster style, you mean? At the next session, Scarlett brought an old cat storybook from her mom, reading to Luna with a warm voice. Julian sat nearby, drawn in, asking absently, Where'd you learn to tell stories? Scarlett paused, her eyes flickering with sadness. My mom. She loved poetry, books. Before she passed, she forced a smile to mask the ache. Julian went quiet, then murmured, I lost my parents too. Since then, I've been bad at talking to Luna. For once, he bared a piece of his heart. Scarlett nodded gently. You don't need to be good with words. Just be there, like today. She handed him a cookie carved with an H for hope. Their fingers brushed as he took it, both pausing for a beat. Luna, doodling cat on paper, looked up. Julian, eat it. It's yummy. The three laughed, the penthouse's chill easing slightly. That night, as Scarlett left, she gazed at the rain through the glass and thought of her mom, who'd said, Books heal. She didn't know that back in the penthouse, Julian stared at the H cookie on his desk, muttering, Hope, huh? His long-frozen heart was cracking, bit by bit, and Scarlett, with her cat cookies and clumsy smile, was the reason. Portland's rain had softened, giving way to the crisp days before Christmas. Scarlett Evans, after a few reading sessions with Luna, was growing accustomed to the vibe of Julian Hayes's penthouse, though she still jumped when she opened the fridge to find pricey mineral water instead of regular soda. She brought Luna a small gift, a pair of hand-knitted cat-patterned socks, clumsy but heartfelt. To keep your feet warm while reading, Scarlett said, winking. Luna hugged them tightly, whispering, Thanks, Miss Scarlett. Julian nearby eyed the socks, his heart stirring. He'd never thought of such simple gifts for his sister. You and Luna need some fresh air, Scarlett declared one afternoon, dragging them to Portland's handmade Christmas market downtown. Julian, used to Zoom meetings and a quiet penthouse, grimaced. A market? I'm not good with crowds, Scarlett laughed. You're great at being a millionaire. Let me teach you to be normal. Luna grabbed her hand, excited by the twinkling stalls. The market glowed with the scent of pine, gingerbread, and acoustic music from a local band. Scarlett guided Luna through craft stalls, teaching her to read signs. C-A-N-D-L-E, candle. Julian trailed behind, hands in his coat pockets, secretly enjoying it. When Scarlett slipped on a wet path, He caught her, but they both tumbled, laughing like kids. Luna snapped a photo with Julian's phone, shouting, "Crash memory!" Scarlett blushed, muttering, "I'm a walking disaster." Under the shimmering lights of a Christmas lantern stall, Julian bought Luna another pair of wool socks, his first gift picked without an assistant. Scarlett teased, "Not bad, millionaire." "Next time, try knitting," he smirked. "If you teach me, I'll consider it." They stood close, breaths mingling in the cold air. Julian held Scarlett's hand to steady her, his fingers tightening as if reluctant to let go. She looked up, heart racing, and for a moment, the world faded away. But just as Julian leaned in, nearly brushing her lips, Luna wedged between them, holding up her stuffed cat. "No kissing in front of my kitty," Scarlett burst out laughing, hugging Luna. "All right, kitty wins." Julian shook his head, feigning a sigh, but his eyes gleamed, a warmth he'd never shown anyone. They walked on, Scarlett sharing tales of past Christmases with her mom, and Julian listening, feeling an urge to open up about his own past for the first time. Back at the penthouse, Luna dozed off on the sofa, still clutching her socks. Scarlett tucked a blanket over her, whispering, "Sweet dreams, little cat." Julian stood at the door watching, murmuring, "You make everything different." Scarlett turned, smiling softly. "Different like a disaster, you mean?" But she knew under the market's lights, her heart had skipped a beat for this cold millionaire. In the days following the Christmas market, Scarlett Evans felt Julian Hayes' penthouse lose its icy edge. She and Luna had made huge strides. The 8-year-old could now spell kitten and even wrote a short sentence. "Cat loves cookies." Scarlett pinned it to Julian's fridge, grinning wide. "Look, I'm almost a stellar teacher." Julian at the kitchen door smirked. "You're stellar at making me wash more dishes." Scarlett tossed a towel at him, both laughing as Luna doodled another cat, cheering them on. But amid the warmth, a silent crack emerged. One afternoon, while helping Luna sort books in her room, Scarlett accidentally knocked Julian's laptop off the desk. The screen lit up, revealing an unread email from his business partner. "Teaching Luna to read is the perfect trial for the new education app. An untrained teacher like her proves it works. No experience needed, just results in 3 months. Hit the goal, I'll invest $2 million. Scarlett froze, hands trembling as she reread it. "Trial?" The words stabbed her heart like a knife. She glanced at Luna, earnestly scribbling a wobbly love, then recalled their lessons, Julian's smiles, and the near kiss under market lights. Was I just a tool, a guinea pig for his app? The pain of losing her mom, years of shelved teaching dreams, surged back. Scarlett had thought she'd found a place to belong, but now she felt like a cog in Julian's business plan. That night, when Julian returned, Scarlett waited in the living room, eyes red but voice icy. "You hired me for the app, didn't you?" she demanded, shoving the laptop at him. Julian blinked, caught off guard, stammering, "Scarlett, it's not what you think." But she cut him off, voice shaking. "I thought you trusted me, trusted what I did for Luna. Turns out I'm just a cheap test for your profit." She flung a box of cat-shaped cookies onto the table, the treats shattering. "I thought I mattered. Now I know I'm just a contract clause." Julian opened his mouth, throat tight. He wanted to tell the truth, that the app was a tribute to his mother, a special ed teacher who'd helped kids like Luna find their voices before she passed. He'd chosen Scarlett not because she was cheap, but because she made Luna laugh, made him feel alive. But the words didn't come. Scarlett turned away, leaving a note. "Goodbye. Take care of Luna." She stepped out, Portland's rain soaking her thin coat. Twist. As Scarlett left, Julian sank onto the sofa, clutching her note and a broken H cookie, the hope she'd once given him. He muttered, Mom would have loved her. The app wasn't just for profit. It was to carry on his mother's legacy, helping kids like Luna speak. But he'd hidden that from Scarlett, fearing she'd think he was exploiting Luna. Now his silence had cost him her. Scarlett trudged through rainy streets, pausing at a familiar acoustic cafe. She huddled there, hugging her backpack, fighting tears. She missed her mom, their story time, and Luna's grin when she spelled cat. You're so stupid, Scarlett, she told herself. Don't trust anyone again. But deep down, she wasn't mad at Julian. She was mad at herself for hoping, for loving him without admitting it. In the penthouse, Luna woke, seeing the broken cookies and note. Clutching her stuffed cat, she asked, "Where's Miss Scarlett, Julian?" He took her hand, voice hoarse. "I'll find her. I promise." Outside, rain fell, but in Julian's heart, a new resolve burned. He had to tell the truth, even if it was late. Portland's rain fell harder, as if trying to drown the city in sorrow. Scarlett Evans had left Julian Hayes' penthouse, leaving behind a goodbye note and shattered cat cookies. Julian sat on the sofa, clutching the H cookie she'd once given him, for hope, his heart heavy. He looked at Luna, dozing with her stuffed cat, and blamed himself. Why didn't I tell her sooner? The app wasn't just business. It was his mom's dream, to help kids like Luna. But he'd let Scarlett think she was just a test. Julian stood, resolved not to lose her again. Luna stirred, rubbing her eyes. "Where's Miss Scarlett, Julian?" She handed him her stuffed cat, whispering, "She likes this. You have to take it." Julian nodded, hugging her. "I'll find her, kiddo." He rushed out, carrying the toy in a heart full of hope and fear. He checked moonlit muffins, but Scarlett wasn't on the night shift. A co-worker pointed him to Rainy Notes, an acoustic cafe she frequented when down. Julian ran through drenched streets, shirt clinging, the soaked, stuffed cat in hand. Pushing open the cafe door, he spotted Scarlett huddled in a corner, clutching her backpack, staring blankly at the rain-streaked glass. "Scarlett!" Julian called, panting. She looked up, surprised, then forced a smile. "Did you run a marathon in the rain? Or did the cat run away?" Julian approached, setting the toy on the table, voice hoarse. "I'm bad at love. I'm used to calculating everything. But with you, I messed up. The app was for my mom's memory, not to use you or Luna. I love you, Scarlett, and I'll wait for you, however long it takes." Scarlett blinked, rain on his face mingling with her tears. She didn't answer, but her heart stirred. The rain kept falling, and Julian stood there, waiting, as if the world had shrunk to just the two of them. Portland's rain had ceased, replaced by rare January sunshine, glimmering on wet streets. Scarlett Evans stood in Rainy Notes Cafe, facing Julian Hayes, the man who'd braved the storm to find her, a soaked stuffed cat in hand. His declaration, "I love you, Scarlett, and I'll wait for you, however long," still echoed in her mind. She looked into his eyes, seeing the sincerity she'd once questioned, and her wounded heart began to reopen. "You're a disaster running in the rain," Scarlett said, hiding tears with a smile. "But I trust you." She took his hand, their cold fingers intertwining. Julian exhaled, pulling her close, whispering, "Thanks for not making me wait forever." Luna, brought by the babysitter, rushed in, hugging them both, shouting, "Miss Scarlett's staying, right?" Kitty missed her so much. The trio laughed, the cafe's acoustic music weaving into the moment. Months later, Scarlett, Julian, and Luna turned a small Portland corner into a dream realized. They opened Luna's Letters, a cozy community library filled with children's books, free cookies, and a real cat named Biscuit, Scarlett's gift to Luna. Scarlett stood behind the counter, teaching kids to spell by icing letters onto cookies, while Julian, awkward but eager, learned to wipe tables and brew coffee. "From millionaire to dishwasher, you're getting better," Scarlett teased, winking. One spring evening, the library hosted a special reading day. Kids and parents gathered as Luna confidently read a cat story aloud to the crowd, the fruit of Scarlett's patient months of teaching. Julian lingered in the back, secretly preparing a surprise. When Scarlett brought out a tray of cookies, she noticed each bore a letter. Arranging them, her heart pounded as she read, "Will you marry me?" The crowd cheered, Luna shouting, "Say yes, sis, so I can be bridesmaid." Scarlett laughed, tears shimmering. "First time I taught someone to say I love you, right, Julian Hayes?" She nodded, diving into his arms. Julian slipped a ring onto her finger, a simple band with a tiny cat charm, just her style. They kissed amid the applause, Biscuit meowing and circling their feet like a cheerleader. In the final scene, Luna's letters glowed warmly on a mild Portland afternoon. Kids sat reading, Scarlett narrated with her cat voice, and Julian, now decent at dishwashing, sneakily dusted flour on her nose, laughing as she feigned anger. Luna, self-proclaimed honorary librarian, drew a family portrait. Him, her, Scarlett, and Biscuit. Scarlett gazed at it, whispering to Julian, "My mom would love this place." He squeezed her hand. "Mine too." The camera panned out, the little library a beacon in the rainy city, the beginning flashing on screen. Scarlett had taught Luna to read, but she and Julian taught each other to love, building a family from broken pieces. Dear Soul and Love Stories fans, did Scarlett, Julian, and little Luna melt your heart? Drop a comment rating this story from 1 to 10. Don't forget to subscribe and smack that bell hard so you won't miss our next sweet love tales. Thank you for joining us.